Hi there, this is Rob, back with today's 2-minute overnight overview. Let's first peek at yesterday's Edge Finder. The setup here is the same as the one I posted to the Quantifiable Edges blog this morning. It considers the fact that ES had closed near the upper end of its trading range on a consistent basis lately. Of the 31 times this study has triggered since January 2000, 71% of them led to a gap down, and downside losses were over 5 times as large as upside gains. Additionally, the last 7 instances, dating back over a year, all led to gaps down the next day. So some bearish evidence here. Now let's look at the odds sheet. The odds sheet showed mixed indications. For ES, price action somewhat favored the short side. Internals were fairly neutral with only a very mild bullish tilt, and seasonality had a mild bearish tilt. The averages came fairly close to suggesting a short trade. I typically want to see a percent profitable lower than 45%, so it didn't quite qualify. We did have that bearish Edge Finder study, which could have tipped the scales if there was agreement from the other indices, but as one trader in the trading room quickly pointed out, some of the other indices even seemed to favor a gap up. So with the picture again muddy and no terribly compelling edge, I sat out. Let's now look and see how it played out last night. After closing at 14.1475, ES spent the early part of the night trading sideways before stair-stepping higher. In the end, it opened up about 4 points. Pretty unremarkable action. But now let's take a look at the daily chart. After closing down a little yesterday, the gap up this morning placed ES above the highest high of the last 50 days. I looked at all other instances since 2000 where ES closed below a 50-day closing high yesterday and then opened at a new 50-day intraday high this morning. Let's take a look at those results. Setup has occurred 24 times. There have been twice as many gaps down the following days as there have been gaps up, and gross losses on the down gaps would have been over 3 times the size of the gross profits on the up gaps. If we look at the individual trades, you can see that the last 6 instances dating back to early 2011 have all opened down the following day. This suggests a possible downside edge for tomorrow. Of course, I won't be looking to make a trade based on this information without confirmation from the odd sheets.